Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Official J in the building, and today we are watching the truth of Tyler leaving 2Hype. Now, the last video that I watched from the 2Hype drama, I think it was actually Mopi's video. Somebody in the comment section recommended me to watch this video too. Shout out to, I think his name was Hot Boys 5 or something like that. Bro, I got you with this reaction. He was just telling me like, bro, you really need to watch this. And I was just like, all right. And shout out to homie Justin too for putting these videos in order for me to watch. Because I was lost. I was like, should I react to whose video should I react to first? Because I didn't know who started making videos first. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into this video. But before we do, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're new. All right, let's get right into this little video right here.
He left 2Hype, and in that video he made a lot of false claims about me and manipulated different events and left out a lot of the story. So in this video I'm going to give you guys a timeline of events so you guys have context of the full story.
Please.
And then I'm going to react to every point Tyler has
what he said?
made in his video and respond to them.
Please, because bro, when I was watching Mopi's video, Mopi was saying that he basically made you seem like a terrible person. Like a terrible person, terrible friend, most out of everything else though. But yeah, Jester, you have a lot of explaining to do, my guy. Literally, you have a lot of explaining.
Before we get into that, I'm not asking you guys to sympathize with me. All I'm asking is that you watch the entire video before you form an opinion on the subject. As a lot of you guys know, me and Tyler have been friends since elementary school, and in high school I started doing really good at YouTube, dropped out of school, went to go do it full time. I was super successful with it, and in that time I wanted to bring up my friends, so I taught Tyler how to edit and helped him make videos, and then eventually got him to move into the 2Hype house at the time. And having Tyler in the house was amazing. We were really good friends. We hung out. I was in his videos. He was in my videos. Then we moved to Calabasas for a new house still.
What have I been saying to y'all since like, what video was it? I forgot what video. Bro, I'm going to keep saying this until y'all get it through y'all skull. If you're a YouTuber and you move to LA, bro, like, it's just cursed. Let's just keep it at that. It's cursed. I'm gonna keep saying that. If you're a YouTuber, move to LA is cursed. Simple. I'm gonna keep saying that, bro.
Same thing going on. Me and Tyler, we hang out all the time. Like, you're my friend. I loved hanging out with you. We made videos together, just countless videos on your channel, countless videos on my channel. In March, I moved out of the house, and the reason I moved out of the house was because I needed more space. I had one bedroom, but I had multiple employees in person. I'm trying to run different businesses. I needed my own space, and it's always been a dream to purchase my own home, and that is why I moved out. As Tyler stated in his video, he's been going through an addiction. Now, this had been going on for a while, but when I left the house in March, it got worse throughout the year, and I never got to fully understand the full extent of it. Later in the year, we were in negotiations with 100 Thieves to sign with them, and Tyler was on board with this, but it wasn't until like the last minute of negotiations, Tyler actually backed out of the deal and told us he didn't want to be a part of the 100 Thieves deal. Tyler explained to us that he didn't want to be part of the 100 Thieves deal because of the contract and the obligations that came with it, and we said, okay, you can still be part of 2Hype, you just won't do the 100 Thieves obligations. Right. And that's what we agreed to for some time, but then Tyler expressed to us he didn't want to be part of the group either, and Tyler was going through it mentally at the time, going through addiction, so we talked to him as a group, and
I mean, he probably realized what was happening, and watching TD get kicked out, he's probably realizing a bunch of stuff about 2Hype. That's probably why he was like, I'm done, you know what I'm saying? But I guess Jess gonna explain to us, like, his side. I don't know. I just
to the decision that, you know, go to rehab, be accountable, get your mind right, take time. If you still don't want to be part of the group when you get back, you know, think about it for a while. You don't have to be part of the group, but don't make this life-changing decision until you get your mind right. Tyler went to rehab, and about 20 days later, he came back, and there wasn't much communication when Tyler came back. I texted him a little bit, but I felt like he was avoiding me. For example, he came to the house to drop off something for my roommate, Rick, but didn't come inside to talk to me. James came to his door, knocked on it. You wouldn't even open the door to talk to James after you came back from rehab. Shortly after that, your dad
Bro, I wouldn't want to talk to James' ass either. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't. Did you see how James was treating him in his videos? Come on. I wouldn't want to talk to him either.
Documents.
And why did you? Okay, what did he just say?
But I felt like he was avoiding me. For example, he came to the house to drop off something for my roommate, Rick, but didn't come inside to talk to me. James came to his door, knocked on it. You wouldn't even.
Why didn't you go to his door? Why is James going to the door instead of you, Jesse? If that's your best friend. Come on.
Open the door to talk to James after you came back from rehab. Shortly after that, your dad emailed us demanding documents, And to give context on Tyler's dad, Tyler, over the years, you've only said negative things about your dad. I've only had limited experiences with him, but you always expressed to me that your dad was a negative influence. As you can see, this email shows Tyler's dad reaching out for these documents. Now, while this was happening, Tyler's dad met with our manager and made physical threats on multiple people in the group. And as you can see, Tyler talks about it in this clip.
The reason that Chris hired security was because I had a talk with my dad.
They got shook because I gotta see Tyler's dad or Mopi's dad. What he looked like.
My dad sat down with our manager at the time, my ex-manager, and he told him, and he threatened Chris.
Because, bro, Mopi's dad better be some Aki brolic, muscle on muscle, Bobby Lashley looking dude for him to hire security. Like, bro, come on. How many people's in Too Hype? It's Too Hype versus his dad. Like, if we're really, you know what, I'm not even gonna get into all that.
Multiple people had to hire security because they did not feel safe. Tyler, you never messaged anyone once apologizing for what your dad did. The only thing you messaged us after that was threatening emails, threatening legal action. We did not give Tyler's dad those documents he requested because he threatened our safety. People had to hire security. He has zero right to those documents that he's requesting. Tyler does. Tyler did not ask for them. It's coming from his dad. He then sent another email requesting even more documents from us. It is a very, very long email, and there's a lot of private information. As you can see, it's blurred, but I will read different sections from it. I will look forward to hearing from an officer of Too Hype Court. If I do not hear back within a reasonable and appropriate time frame based on the fact that my earlier email was ignored, which I explained why it was, I will stop all communication and bring legal action on behalf of Tyler Glenn Mopi against all parties mentioned in this email. And Tyler never mentioned the fact that he came at us legally first. If no criminal violations occurred, then all being accused will be vindicated and those who have accused with be left to lick their wounds. But if the violations did occur, you ignore this email, this sees the inside of a courtroom. All penalties will be enforced to the fullest extent of the law and no friendly considerations will be given to any party. And then at the end of the email, this is how we found out Tyler was leaving Too Hype. It was an email from his dad that had legal threats, and it said, in closing, I would like to remind you all that Mopi walked away from Too Hype for moral and ethical reasons that involve the actions both personally and professionally of the Too Hype members, and he was not pushed out or forced out. The plan was for when Tyler got back from rehab to tell us whether he wanted to be in the group, how he was feeling, but no, you didn't come to us, you didn't have a group discussion with us. We've had to find out from your dad in an email where you're literally threatening us with lawsuits, Tyler. You couldn't have come and talked to us after everything we've been through. We had to find out through an email. We could have made everything mutual.
I mean, Mopi probably didn't want to be bothered with all that because he just got out of, you know what I'm saying, rehab. But yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound too, I guess like the threatening part maybe, but maybe that's how Mopi, because you saw how Mopi was in his video. He was expressing all his feelings, so he probably was just like, Dad, can you handle this for me type thing. So that's probably why, and his dad probably went overboard with it. So
nothing had to be a back and forth attack. There had to be no legal action. But no, this is how everything happened. And keep in mind, Tyler, everything before rehab, we're meeting, we're talking to each other, you come back, stop talking to us, and threaten us legally. But in your video, you make it seem like we're coming after you legally when this has been going on for over a month. There are more threats in this email. We replied telling him, you are not Tyler's power of attorney, which basically means he'd be able to sign for Tyler, act as if he was Tyler. Okay, and what he responded with was a middle finger. Then from that point on, all of the emails started coming from Tyler's own email. During this time when Tyler was threatening us with legal action, he was still living in the house. So we pretty much told him like, dude, you have to leave in 30 days. You haven't paid rent in 8 months. You're suing your friends and your dad is physically threatening us and you won't talk to us. This was a back and forth email about living in the house. I'm gonna paraphrase because it's kind of a lot. He was asking for information on the lease. He thanked us for that. Chris wasn't living in the house. The washer and dryer were his. He took them. As for me not making any payments on rent for the past 8 months, you must provide me with a complete financial breakdown that involves all members of Too Hype that are leaseholders and subleaseholders and the rent due and paid from each to substantiate that I have not completed rent payments as needed. Also, if I'm not mistaken, there was money directly taken from Too Hype Court checking account and paid toward rent. Please provide the financial details on that point as well, if in fact it did happen or prove to me that it did not happen. Now, the 2Hype Corporation started subsidizing the 2Hype house rent as we were
2Hype
filming a bunch of different
Corporation,
videos there.
goodness.
We all agreed on that. We all had to pay less rent. And Tyler, you just never paid rent, and now you're asking for documents that prove that. We're friends, bro. It's a discussion about rent. It's not like, oh, Tyler, I'm gonna make a document that says you owe me this rent every month and hold you to it. It's like, nah, bro, like that's your rent. Later in the emails, he says, I'd like to add that you emailing 3 members that are not leaseholders, but only sub-leaseholders, one, in fact, is not even involved in this matter, is unlawful conduct on your part. What he's talking about, we added Cash to the email because Cash is in 2Hype. He's been involved in all these legal things too. He's part of the group. So we just added him to the email. And he's literally saying, do it again and I will bring legal action against you for defamation of character, and I'm not threatening you, I am promising you. Because we added Cash to an email chain, Tyler said this. This is coming straight from Tyler.
What?
I am not threatening you, I am promising you. And then he said, furthermore, if you stop paying utilities, I will bring legal action against all leaseholders because with subleaseholders, it would be unlawful contact to do so. We never did that. The utilities never turned off. Mitchell lived there at the time, but he actually moved out.
Nah, that doesn't make sense. Nah, I'm not gonna let that pass by. Why would he say that if Cash is... I can understand if it was like an outside person, like... I don't know. Who's a YouTuber? Like somebody from like A&P or like YRG or somebody getting added to the thing. I can understand that, but there's somebody that's literally into hype. I don't know why Mopi said that.
Afraid to run into Tyler because of the threats with his dad and everything that was going on legally, he moved back in with his parents. Tyler ended the email saying, I look forward to one day hearing from Jesse and Mitchell what I possibly could have done to make them afraid of me, for I've known them since 1st grade. As for Zach, James, and Cash, wow, what can I say? They are afraid of me. Tyler, you won't even talk to me at this time? We talked about the house stuff. Now back to the documents. Tyler started requesting them under his email. He asked them. So we set up a time and place for him to view the documents, which was at the 2Hype house where Tyler was living. And the 4-hour window we set up for Tyler to view all the documents he asked for, he left the house and he just never showed up. So all of this back and forth about the emails, we set up a time. He literally didn't show up. After that, more time had passed. Tyler stopped sending threatening emails and got an actual lawyer. And now we've been dealing with that back and forth. During this time, we won the Streamies Award. It was a really big night for us. And on that night, Tyler quote tweeted it and put L-hype, except for Cash and Mitchell, they're cool. And then after that, we send you a cease and desist letter because making all of this public is a lose-lose situation for both of us. And in
what did he make public though? He just said L-hype. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Why would they send a cease and desist? Because he said L-hype? I mean, well then again he did. I don't understand like suing and all that kind of stuff, which I should really get into. But he didn't say anything like super bad. He just said L-hype. I mean, if you're doing a sue for sue, that's kind of unnecessary. I don't think cease and desist correlates with what he's trying to sue you out for. So it's kind of like, why, you know what I'm saying? Like, why have a cease and desist for real?
Cease and desist letter, it literally says we want to resolve this in a mutually agreeable manner. None of this has to be online. In your tweet about the cease and desist, you say they're not victims, don't fall for it. Yet you've been threatening to sue us legally for weeks and literally just won't talk to us. And then after that, you dropped your video painting a lot of us in an extremely bad light.
Though?
And it's so crazy to me because Tyler, all these things you're expressing in your video, you never expressed to me in person. When you got back, it's like you flipped a switch on our friendship. Everything you said in your video, you never discussed with me in person. But now let's get into Tyler's video so I can address each point he makes.
Please. And getting into talking about everything, they sent me a cease and desist letter. So I do need to be careful with what I'm saying because they're threatening to sue me. I've literally only said L-hype and I'll be making a video and they're already sending me a cease and desist letter. Like, what does that tell you? Like, they're willing to do and say anything. I'll be going into a lot more later about that, but yeah, I'm gonna be talking about a lot.
Tyler, you saying the only thing you've done is put out a tweet is a complete lie. You threatened us with legal action on November 21st. You put out this tweet on December 12th. You're literally lying and manipulating your audience. You said you have to be careful because of the cease and desist letter. I feel like I have to be careful because you've threatened to sue me and your dad has threatened to sue me. And you guys are probably gonna threaten to sue me for this video.
But I've just
wait, he got sued by 2 different people?
Completely
I thought it was one
used,
suit.
Just used and abused. Like,
I could kind of see where
used
I
on.
could kind of see. Sorry, I keep pausing. I could kind of see where Jess is coming from. Like, oh, you suing us, but you're saying that you didn't do anything crazy. But I mean, I don't know. I understand both sides right now. I understand both sides.
My Mopi personality.
You claimed we abused you as Mopi. I assume this is reference to the Mopi abuse trend. But Tyler, me and you and the group have had countless conversations talking about the Mopi abuse thing, but you always told us you were cool with it and you ran with it on your own channel too. You kept that trend up on your own channel. Every 100,000 subscribers, you would do a video of us hurting you. Tyler, and you've always reassured us that the Mopi abuse stuff was okay and you did it on your own channel.
And abused, like, as Tyler. Like, everybody just
Maybe that's not what he's talking about.
forgetting about Tyler and only caring about Mopi. And Mopi showing up for the videos. Everybody just doesn't care about Tyler. And they're gonna say otherwise. Like, when I put out my tweet, they all just tried saying they helped me out more than anyone, showing texts of support, like all that stuff. But no, I'm not having some fake agenda. Like fake agenda that went out with like TD and Los go out there. Like, I'm saying the truth.
Tyler, I've known you since kindergarten. There has never been a hidden agenda in our friendship. I've known you for over 10 years and you've been one of my closest friends. Yeah. And I genuinely believe what I said in my tweet is true. I taught you how to edit and make videos. I gave you an opportunity to move into the house and I promised you I would pay for your entire first year of rent for free while I helped you build your own career. And then even after that first year, you would go months without paying me, but because you were one of my closest friends, I let it slide and I took responsibility for that. And besides the YouTube stuff, Tyler, I tried to help you become an adult. You never had a credit card, you never had a credit score. We had multiple discussions about, Tyler, this is what you need to get a credit card. This is the step-by-step process. But you say I don't care about Tyler, but I don't want to...
Oh, then that makes sense about earlier. If Tyler... I'm not gonna call that nigga Tyler. If Mopi is like a late bloomer and he's not like doing like adult stuff like credit and stuff like that, then of course his dad's gonna come in and step in and handle legal action. Like, how you gonna not know how to do credit stuff but you know how to do legal action stuff? Like, I understand why his dad came in now. Okay.
My closest friends to be a grown man with no credit score. Like, you literally act like I never tried to help. Did you want me to drive you to the bank and talk to the teller for you? I don't understand. I also helped you with all of your videos because I wanted you to succeed alongside me and do this together. And Tyler, did I only care about Mopi when we all had to get together at my house? You got drunk, went on the mini ramp, and continuously tried hurting yourself and were falling every time. I pulled you off multiple times. I was so scared and I didn't want to see you get injured as my friend. I love you. I don't want to see anyone get injured. I had to pull you off multiple times, but I just don't care apparently. I'll talk about all this more later in the video, but I genuinely feel I've always tried to help you, Tyler, not Mopi with what you're going through.
Yeah, going into each one of the individuals that I have issues with, I'll start out with Jester because like everybody's probably wondering, like, wasn't that your...
Sorry, I keep pausing it. But, I mean, Jester, that's a good friend move, helping him try to build his credit, like, taking steps to becoming, like, doing, like, grown stuff. Putting him onto the YouTube game, letting him live with him for free and stuff like that. I mean, that's an OG friend move, you know what I'm saying? So I give props to Jester for that. Nobody could take that away from Jester.
Friend since elementary school, it's like, yeah, he was. He's gone though. It's just Jester. There is no Jesse. And he's been doing some really nasty stuff that I don't ever care to see him again or talk to him again. First of which, that happened more recently, but I'll get into stuff that happened over the year and past years. And Chris was supporting this too. But Jesse saying I'm fighting serious demons and he's worried about me and basically just painting me out to be like mentally unstable because I put out my L-Hype tweet. Like, I can't describe how I feel about the manipulation and like the disgust for what he is doing.
Tyler, the reason I said you were fighting demons is because I didn't want to publicly tell everyone you were going to rehab. I didn't want to publicly say you were going through an intense addiction. That's very personal and it wasn't my place to say that. I also said don't fuel someone who's not okay. I apologize for this comment. It was insensitive. In the moment when I made that video about you, I was extremely emotional. And Tyler, you were going through it mentally. As you discussed later in the video, you talk about how you're drinking, you're smoking, you're vaping, you're hurting yourself. You said these things in the videos. You were going through it. You were fighting demons.
Yeah, I've been abusing the sauce, the devil's lettuce. I'm not saying the word.
I didn't know what that was in his reaction.
Yeah, I've been abusing that. nicotine, and in the past year, alcohol, like really badly.
Tyler, I apologize that
I mean,
my
what
words
we
were
drinking,
portrayed
that
as calling you
Henny?
mentally unstable. That was never my intention when I said you were fighting demons. I believed it was appropriate to say this because I didn't want to expose private information about your substance abuse. And Tyler, you were going through a battle with yourself. As you said, you were going through a really bad period of your life this year. It was never meant to call you mentally unstable at all.
I never thought that getting into YouTube years down the line, I would be having my own brother manipulated by Jesser and tried to be used against me as a manipulation strategy by him to make people think that he cares about me and that he's reaching out to my family to support me. Like I can't even, like, it's crazy. I'm speechless. I don't know how to form words right now because it's so ridiculous.
This is my fault. I definitely should not have mentioned your mother or your brother in the video. That was inappropriate of me. When I did make the video, it was very emotional. Your brother called me after. I apologized to him. Do I regret talking to your mom or your brother? No, absolutely not. The reason I reached out to your brother is I expressed my concerns about you hurting yourself, Tyler. There were things that you did that you didn't tell him about and you were hurting yourself, and I was concerned as a friend. And same thing with your mom. That's what I reached out to her about, was you hurting yourself because I'm worried about you. So no, I don't regret reaching out to your family. Do I regret putting it online and mentioning it publicly? Yes, 100%.
I would like to hope
should
so,
not have done
'cause
that.
this
That
is
was
a
my
mess.
fault.
After I saw Jesse talk about my brother in his video and my mom too.
Like, I can understand, like, you reaching out to somebody's, you know what I'm saying? Like, your friend's going through something and you don't know how to, like, deal with it, so you reach out to their family. That makes perfect sense, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like he said, putting it on online, this is unnecessary, bro. This is a lot of time that we didn't need, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like 2 hours that we didn't need to know about. Like, I'm not gonna hold you.
Which is 100% not okay with me. I texted my brother, and this is what he said. I can't imagine how weird it was for him to be talking to Jesser, and like, they've never talked before, and he's trying to make it out like he was trying to help me by talking to him on the phone, and then he just said online like he's like it. I don't even know what to say.
Tyler, you say I've never talked to your brother before. This is simply a lie. I've known you since kindergarten. He's your brother. He's come to the house many times. We've done videos together, literally on your channel, so I have talked to your brother before. Yes, I did express to your brother about the hate because I didn't want it to be a back and forth, a lose-lose situation of us dropping videos together. I was talking to Preston about how we could keep this offline. And obviously, as I said earlier, I was expressing my concerns of you hurting yourself to him. And if you meant I had never talked to him on the phone or about your addiction or what you're going through with him, yes, that is true. That was the first time I talked to him about it, because I didn't have any way to communicate with you, Tyler, so I had to go to your family to express my concerns.
Why don't you just pull up on him?
And the eyes too, like, he probably just rubbed his eyes and started to just get watery eyes. Like, it's an act. It's all manipulation act. He does not care. He only cares because he wants to uphold his online image. That's all he cares about. That's all they all care about. That's it. And they'll say and do anything to keep that.
Tyler, you said I rub my eyes as a manipulation tactic to look sad, when this whole back and forth, like, this has been some of the lowest points of my life. This situation is literally the only thing I've been able to think about in the last month. I can't even sleep at night without thinking this. This is extremely emotional, this situation for me. And to you acting like, oh, I'm just rubbing my eyes? What? Bro, I've always loved you, and then I get betrayed. This whole situation is extremely personal and emotional to me.
I gotta take accountability for not being entirely open with how bad things were with me this year, but
I don't know, man. I don't know, because it's like, I understand what Jester's saying, but you see how Mopi's video is? Like, he's like expressing how he feels through his like mannerisms and stuff. Jester's not really, he's keeping the same face. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I feel like Jester, it's like he's only doing this because of what we think, you know, as the viewers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I feel like there's not really any emotion for going into this video. That's just my opinion.
I was open enough and things were visible enough to see that I needed help, and Jesse was never there for me. Jesser. It's not even Jesse anymore. It's just Jesser was never there for me.
This is a flat out lie. And this
See,
one
like, this
hurts so
face,
much because
he's
Tyler,
just
I
keeping that
cared about
same
you
face.
so
Like, if
much
you're talking
throughout
like
the
this,
year
keep the
and
same
tried
face.
really hard.
He's just talking, keeping the same face. Like, he's been having his face the whole entire 18 minutes. I'm sorry, I keep pausing, but the entire 18 minutes I've been watching this video, bro, he's been having the same like facial expression and mannerism. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not like, I don't see any frustration in his face about Mopi in general. You know what I'm saying?
To help you. Tyler, I tried my best to help you. I tried to reach out
Unless
to you.
I'm tripping,
Am I a
though.
trained professional? No. You're my first friend that's ever gone through an addiction. I don't know how to perfectly fix it or help you, but dude, I did try. And it's like an example like this text. No worries. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you with, bro. It's all good, dude. Just needs time. Thank you. It's like I would give you opportunities for you to express what was happening and tell me, but you would just bottle it in inside. I really got into meditation.
You gotta keep
crying,
pressing
this
them
dude
about
named
it.
Tony
Keep
Robbins who tries to help.
Bro, you gotta keep. That's the thing about niggas that's depressed. Like, you gotta keep pressing them about it. Don't let them run away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be like, oh, how you doing? I'm good, and then just leave it like that, knowing damn well they're not good, bro. You gotta keep pressing them about it, because I don't know. That's just how depressed people are. Like, when you're depressed, you don't want to talk about it. So of course you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm good, but you gotta keep pressing them. Like, keep the pressure. Like, bro, like, ask them like every day. You gotta keep pressing them about it. Like I keep saying, press them. But I'm assuming Jester's never had a friend that's been in a depression or anything like that before.
People like get their mind together. I sent Tyler a lot of that stuff to try to help him through it because that's what helped me. And I thought, you know, maybe this will help Tyler. Even right here, Tyler texted me that he's gonna be in my videos, but he didn't want to record his own. And I was like, dude, you don't have to do that. Just take it easy. And he says, I'll set it out. And then I asked him, yo, let's go work out. Let's meditate. You know, something good for you, something that's helped me mentally. Like, this is an opportunity to help you, Tyler, and you don't respond. I read a lot of books about mental health and self-motivation, so I would send those to Tyler because that's what helped me from my experience. And it's like he would say, I really appreciate you sending this stuff to read and listen to, dude. The other stuff like Kevin Hart's book and Chop Wood, 2 other motivational books. He's like, I want to read and finish sometime. I'm going to be honest, I can't really get behind what this guy's about. I'm really happy it's helping you a ton, though. Tyler doesn't really like Tony Robbins. That's okay. He helped me. I tried to send it to him. I reached out to Tyler. Yo, bro, let's talk one-on-one soon. Let me know when you can. We're going to figure all this out. I love you. We're all here for you and want the best. Definitely talk soon. And Tyler, like, you expressed things like, oh, we didn't help you clean your room. I'm saying let's talk Thursday. If you need any help with your things, let me know. All you have to do is ask me. When I reached out to you with these messages, Tyler, there was no ulterior motive or manipulation.
Yeah, I
wanted to help you. You were my friend. For example, what are you doing tonight? You want to talk things through or just vibe? Like, I was trying to help you, Tyler. I'm sorry I didn't do a better job at helping you. I genuinely am, but I hope you know I tried. When I moved out, I was extremely busy, yet I still put in effort and tried to help you.
I see. Okay. So, I understand both sides. Jester's never dealt with anybody, obviously, that has been through a depression or going through something like this. But Mopi, on the other hand, he feels like Jester's not trying enough, or he's not understanding him enough. And I understand, but like I said, I understand both sides. Could Jester have helped him more? Yes, obviously. Can Mopi have explained more of how Jester can help him? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So again, I'm on both sides with this one.
I had gotten a house for the first time. I went through a breakup of a near 2-year relationship that was extremely hard on me. I'm running multiple different companies, multiple different YouTube channels, managing other YouTube channels. I have a ton of stuff going on, but I genuinely did try to help you while I was doing all of that. And I'm sorry I didn't put more time. I'm sorry. Like, looking back, I wish I could have helped you with all this more. I genuinely do, dude. And it makes me so sad that it's gone to this point. I got all our friends together and I made a challenge. It was called Sober October, as in the text. The rules: the winner gets 1,000 cash. I will supply. Last 2 place have to take the rest of the boys out to dinner. Me and Todd made the list. So I'm gonna blur out this list because it's bad. One of the main reasons I did this challenge is because I wanted to help you, but you didn't even make it to the first day. Like, I can try to help you, but I can't force you, Tyler. Like, if you take a horse to water, you can't force it to drink. I tried to help you, bro. You didn't take my help. And at the time, like, I can't force it to drink. I tried to help you, bro. You didn't take my help. And at the time, like, I wanted to get sober too. I'm not perfect either. These 2 text messages, when you went to rehab, you didn't hit me back up. I know you were texting other people, but you decided not to hit me back up. Until after you got back, we texted back and forth a little bit. But then obviously everything switched when you started threatening us. And all of these things I showed were just text messages. I showed those as proof because it's physical proof that I did try to help you, Tyler. As you say, I didn't try to help you. Tyler, you're forgetting about all the personal conversations we've had about this. You act like we've never discussed this. This was a major thing throughout the year. We've had many discussions about it. Obviously, Tyler, when I did live in the house, we were way closer. We talked about things a lot more. Yes, when I moved out, we didn't talk as much. It's just part of not living with each other. But you're forgetting all the countless conversations we've had in person too, where we have talked about what you're going through, and you're just acting like this never happened. I also wanted to include this clip as it shows an example of one of the times we met as a group and discussed what was going on.
They said Cash's video was butt cheeks. They said he didn't explain anything that had to do with what was going on. He was just there. He was just a bystander, which is a good thing for Cash because you don't want to be in a situation like this.
I remember when we had a talk outside. Mopi was saying that he was going to go get help or whatnot. Jesse was crying. I can never forget how the face, the face Jesse had, like he was disappointing himself because he felt like that he could have did more for Mopi. That's the energy I had felt from him, man.
When I talked to him in person and he said I hugged him and tried to use it against me, whatever, like he hugged me. I wish I said just like, I don't get away, like whatever. But yeah, he asked me what my goal was with the L-Hype tweet and if I wanted a bag. Like he wasn't going there to check on me or really talk to me. He made me feel bad. He tried to make me feel bad about the hate he was getting.
Tyler, I did hug you. I hugged you because I loved you and I care about you as a friend. Also, after that conversation, you texted Mitchell that I exposed you to coronavirus. Why do you think I have these hidden agendas going at you? You think I'm hugging you to give you coronavirus? I don't have any hidden agenda against you, Tyler. I love you as a friend. I did ask you what your goal was with the L-Hype tweet because it came to a complete shock to me. And then you saying right after, you asked me if I wanted a bag. What I asked you is, why did you get lawyers involved? Was it for a bag? Because you're obviously leaving the group, right? You have a couple options when you leave the group. You can agree to a buyout where you sell your shares to the company, getting a bag. Or do you want to just own your percentage of the company, leave the group, but still try to make money off it by having a percentage? Or did you want to give your shares back? Did you want to give them to Mitchell? I still don't understand why you have lawyers and why you're demanding these documents. You've never made it clear what you want, and I was trying to figure that out because we are in the dark. You're skewing conversations because in that conversation we talked about you being sober, but we literally only talked for 10 minutes because you said you had to go and you just left. Like, I would have loved to sat down with you in hours and go back and forth because of all this legal stuff. We didn't talk for a while. And this is our first time talking. You can only give me 10 minutes. Also, Tyler, in this conversation I had with you, I asked you when in your life you ever felt you couldn't ask me something and I wouldn't say yes to it. And this is what you told me. You said, when I asked you to hide my devil's lettuce, you didn't. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. I'm going to be honest. I felt in a weird position having to do that. It made me uncomfortable and I didn't want you going through my room looking for it. It's like, if you want me to hide it, dude, just throw it away. Don't put it on me. And you feel like this is the only time I've said no to you in your life? I am sorry, Tyler. I wish I could have helped more with that situation, and looking back, I wish I did. Addressing the part where you say I tried to make you feel bad for all the hate I was getting, yes, I was pretty upset about it. It's caused me to be at some of the lowest points of my life, hearing everyone say I snaked my best friend like this. While I still don't understand this hatred that's built up for me that you've bottled in, that's just released. I don't understand it, where it came from. You've never addressed these problems to me in private.
See, like I said, I understand both sides. Mopi should have really, Mopi should have sat him down and told him, spilled out exactly how he felt before all this happened, obviously. But, yeah, that was kind of Mopi's fault for not telling Jester how he truly felt about what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And Jester can't really guess and try to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Mopi's walking around, like, acting regular, then Jester's not going to know. But, yeah, again, that was kind of Mopi's fault for not expressing how he truly felt.
Tyler, never. You just go online after everything we've been through and start talking shit.
The fact that he tries using the rent that he helped me out with and that he helped me out with my channel in the first place, and he uses that against me to like keep me under his thumb, it's terrible. It's not friendship. That's not a friend.
When have I ever used me helping you with your channel, helping you pay rent against you? Never in my life have I been like, oh dude, I paid your rent. Oh, I helped you with your channel. You owe me this. No, we never even talk about that. That's never even been brought up between us, Tyler. The reason I helped you is because you're my friend. It's not some manipulation tactic to get you to do things for me. And Tyler, yes, earlier in the video, I did bring up the rent and some of the things I did for you, but that was just to show I care as a friend, as you made this video saying I don't.
Because of all the stuff that's been happening, I wish I never took his help. And I almost wish I didn't go move into the YouTube house in Yorba Linda. I wish I just went to college sometimes and didn't get like this deeply involved in any of this because how bad it's turned out. Like I've literally just been a pawn, I feel like, to his grind to 10 million subscribers. Like he helped me out with that stuff, but it's all because he just needs people around him to make videos.
Tyler, before you even moved in, I was living with YouTubers. I had YouTubers around me. I've had people to make my content. I don't need you to make content.
Yeah.
I wanted you to move in because you were my boy, and I wanted you to have your own career, your own YouTube channel. And yes,
That
did I
makes
want you to be a
sense.
part of
Yeah,
my
that's
journey?
it.
Hell yeah, bro. You were one of my closest friends. I wanted you to be in all my videos, and I helped you with all of yours too. You're saying I used you as a pawn when that's simply not true. And Tyler, once again, you have never expressed this way you're feeling to me. I never knew you felt like this at all. You hid it from me. Like, I wish we could have talked about this. I wish you would have came up to me and be like, bro, I feel like you're using me. And I wish we could have talked it out because these are such ridiculous claims.
Supporting that feeling that I have of being just used. When we made the VR channels, he took 51% of my VR channel. Like, all those channels were just started up for money because the VR channels were the fastest growing at the time. He took 51% of my channel and then bragged about it. Like, I heard that, and he'll deny that or whatever, but that shit stuck in my brain, and I could never believe how this dude can say that about his elementary school friend, that he owns, like, his channel, and, like, that's something to brag about. Like, it's like nothing I want to be around.
Now, I've never publicly said this, but I do own a company that manages YouTube channels. It's a side thing I do. I put a lot of work and energy into it. Tyler, you agreed to doing all of this. You were excited to do it. You were hella about it. All you had to do was record the videos, and I would handle everything outside of that. You were hyped for it. I spent thousands of dollars getting the videos edited, spent a lot of time reviewing the videos, working on them. And then you expressed to me one day, you're like, hey, Jesse, I don't want to do the VR channel. With no hesitation, I told Tyler, yeah, that's fine. Like, I understand. I get it. You're going through a lot. Let's not do it. You don't want to do it. I'm not going to ever force you. But it's like, did I say, oh, I paid for your rent, helped you build your career, so you have to do this? No. With no hesitation, I said, Tyler, that's fine. You don't have to do this. I will deny you saying I was bragging about this because that never happened, Tyler. I forgot to include this in the video, so I'm doing a voiceover, but Tyler, your VR channel, it never even had an upload on it. And Tyler, we never even had a contract for this channel, so technically I never even owned 51%, and why would I brag about a channel that has no uploads and no videos?
Dude, just how, like, selfish this dude is, and actually all the guys, this applies to all of them. But we were in a Discord call when it was time for Moochie to join 2Hype. We were talking, and I was put it out there. I was like, hey, is anybody else willing to give up a % or two so Mitchell feels more part of the group? Nobody wanted to. He's just on a tiny salary now. Mitchell doesn't own a % of 2Hype. Jesser was not willing to give up 1% for our elementary school friend, one of the dudes that adds the most to the group, pure good person, funny entertainment. These guys in Jesser could not give up 1% for him. We could have all given up a percent, and he could have had 6% of 2Hype. That sounds amazing to me. But no, he's just on a tiny salary because they can. Because it's a business. It's not for fun. It's not for fun or friendship. It's a business.
So we had a meeting where we shifted all the shares, and you went up more than anyone, and I went down. And the reason I went down is because I want you to be comfortable and happy as my friend. If I'm this money-hungry person, why would I give up shares to you like that? And Mitchell is my best friend, and he's not on a small salary. Mitchell is making very good money. I have talked to Mitchell about owning a percentage of the company in the future, and he can back me up on this. This is just, once again, not true. And Tyler, you also never gave a share to Mitchell, and it's like, if you wanted to do that, you could. The shares that you have right now, why don't you just give them all to Mitchell instead of coming at us with lawyers the way you're talking?
And the thing that makes it so annoying is they try to paint it as not a business, and it's all about the friendship, and all of them doing it for fun. It's like, no. Stop being so like.
No.
Stop trying to keep the greediness and selfishness in the dark. Like, that's what's aggravating for the people that have been abused by it. Like, own up to the shit. Like, stop lying. Like, it's so bad. Like the sidemen are a great example. Like, they're a wannabe sidemen, but they're terrible people. Like, what else would you expect from a wannabe sidemen group from LA? Like, it's bound to be fake as hell, just greedy, selfish, self-gain, like all of that. So sidemen are amazing because they're genuine. They do stuff fair. They don't abuse people on the business side. I found out some stuff on the business side that's like, what the hell? I don't care about the money like that, but I want to be treated equal. I want to be treated with respect, and that didn't happen.
Tyler, once again, I wish you expressed to me in person the way you were feeling. I didn't know you felt this way. Also, you say we abused you on the business side. I am confused by this because the only thing that's happened since the start of the company in the business side is we raised your shares. Everyone's gotten paid out on the same day. And yes, Tyler, it was a business too, but you neglected the business side of that. You wouldn't show up to a ton of the meetings. You would play video games during some of them. You didn't really put your 2 cents into the business side, but we didn't
This man out here playing 2K in the middle of a business meeting. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds boring as hell. That does. That sounds boring. Like, who wants to sit through that?
You too. And once again, Tyler, I wish you talked to me about this because you didn't express that you felt uncomfortable and that we were doing these things to you in the business side.
They're not humans. They're not real people anymore. They have ascended past humans and normal people, and they're YouTube gods. They are YouTube gods now, and they just make decisions. Like I heard that Jesser and Chris were talking to TD about kicking me out of the old house in Yuurrrrr because I was like hanging out with my ex-girlfriend, or I was just not uploading enough. I never knew that.
Tyler, I never knew this either because this never happened. Why would I want to kick you out of the house when you were one of my best friends? And for the viewers who've been watching since then, the meme at the time was Mopi was never home, and I was sad because I couldn't hang out with you. Because you were my friend. Why would I want to kick my friend out who I just had move in out of the house? This literally makes no sense.
That's the only one, like, that's the only facial expression I know that he's made in this video. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's happening because if that was my best friend, this is happening, I'd show more facial expressions. Maybe he's not the type of person to show facial expressions like that, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too much.
Kick someone out who is a major part of my channel and my life.
Just like Los and TD didn't know they were kicked, and Mao too. They didn't know they were kicked until it was already a decision.
Greasy.
They don't feel the need to like have normal conversations. They just make terrible decisions on their own, like. And it's just it's nothing to be around unless you're a part of it and wanna just, I don't even know. I'm so glad I'm out of it.
Tyler, that was a group decision. You have a voice in the group. You didn't express that. You were part of that. You were there. One of the reoccurring problems throughout all of this is you feel some type of way, but you don't let anybody know. We can't read your mind, Tyler. The decisions that were made were not my decision. It was all of us together as a group's decision.
And the weird thing is too, they're in denial. Like, they're just so deep in their own lies and just thinking that they're right and everyone else is just the bad people going out to get them. It's like something he said to me was, all change is good change. It's like, so nobody can get lost in the money in the internet clout. Nobody can lose themselves. That's not a thing. Like,
I don't ever recall saying this. I don't think all change is a good thing. People can change for the worse. People can change for the better. It's just like a dumb statement. I never said that. I feel like you're just grasping for straws and reasons to hate me.
I've seen how this dude talks to people, like his
like
editors
would he hate you,
and
though?
People out in public, like working people, and it makes me sick. It's like, again, just YouTube gods like looking down on people, talking down on people, talking shit about people because apparently they feel like they can. Like, apparently they feel like they're the next American Sidemen and they could do whatever they want. It's like, it's their heads are gonna fall off. They're getting so big and they can't I can't. I don't even. I'm trying to make a joke or something. I can't. I don't know.
This is extremely upsetting to me because it's an attack on my character and who I am. Tyler, you're saying I talk down on people, to working people, to editors. I try to treat everyone I meet with kindness and respect. When have I talked down to working people and editors? I live with my editor. He moved in with me and we're really good friends. And he can back me up with this on my character.
Another situation that stands out in my mind is we were out eating. It was Jester, a friend of ours, and me, and we were at Cheesecake Factory eating outside. We didn't even have our food yet, and Jester sees this kid like walk by or whatever, and we can kind of see when someone's kind of like looking back and might recognize us, and he's like just begging for the kid to not like walk over and say hi. And it's like, it's a little kid and his dad, like, and Jester's just begging, like, no, please don't come over here, like, leave us alone, no, like, I swear. And it's like, this kid, it's probably gonna make this kid's day, at least day, probably a week or something like that, just meeting Jester.
I want to see what Jester
But the other side of it is this dude is begging for him to not come over and say hi. Chris put this in Jester, like, that he's better and doesn't need to like talk to the people that support him, and it's like it's nasty, and I feel bad as a friend that I couldn't help stop that happening. But he was just living with Chris and Zach for so long that like these terrible attitudes about just life just completely just changed this dude.
Yes, I will admit, there's been times in my life where I don't want to be recognized in public, especially when I'm eating. I was with a friend from out of town I hadn't seen in months, and you saying I'm begging for this kid to not come over is exaggerated. You're making it sound like it's the end of the world if this kid comes over. And the thing is, we were in the outdoor area, and the only way to get to the outdoor area is going through the inside area of Cheesecake. The dad lifted the kid over the fence. This is the part you didn't mention. And I took a picture with the kid, and I had a conversation with the dad. Even though there's been times where I don't want to be recognized, I've never denied a fan a picture, but you try to put me in this light that every time a kid sees me, I'm like, oh, I hope I don't get recognized. I've met so many fans in public, and I'm always appreciative of it, and those people who have met me, they can tell you that. You're saying Chris and Zach influenced me this way, but to be honest, I'm extremely proud of the person I've become, and Zach and Chris helped me become the person I am, and I'm forever grateful to them for that.
And then...
Alright. I don't have anything that Chris has. He basically just said that he likes his fans to approach him and take pictures and all that. We wouldn't know that because, I don't live in LA and I don't see us go down, but I'm just assuming that he's not capping about that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's not for me to say about that. He just answered my question, so hey.
Thinking it's okay to paint me as mentally unstable online just because I'm saying F the group, L hype, and he's trying to, like, it's just so mind-boggling how, like, what happened. And it's really sad, but I'm just getting away from it. I'm not gonna rack my brain over trying to change people. They're just so deep in their own ways. It's like I'm just leaving. I'm not being a part of it.
Once again, Tyler, when I said fighting demons, I did not mean to portray you as mentally unstable. You keep saying I tried to portray you as mentally unstable, so I just wanted to address that again.
And it's like, how did I stay a part of the group for so long with all this stuff happening? It's because I numb myself. You guys don't know this about me, but I need to make things combine my two lives. I've been living this Mopi life, and then I have Tyler, my life, that I've been numbing myself and hurting myself for a while. And I've been abusing the sauce, the devil's lettuce. I'm not saying the word for demonetization or whatever, but yeah, I've been abusing that, nicotine, and in the past year, alcohol, like, really badly. And it got so bad this year.
Henny, man.
And I tried to quit so many times. I tried to get help. I put, like, this text, and, like, this is a great example of the kind of support.
Oh yeah, now I want to hear what he has to say about that for it. Hold on. When they basically just dubbed him all together about the whole tech situation.
Tyler, once again, I showed earlier, I did try to reach out to you about these things. I didn't live with you, but I definitely did try, and you can't say that I didn't. You showed the text you sent to the group. I mean, this had happened multiple times, and there were many conversations about it. There were group conversations, there were one-on-one conversations, and then you show a text message of me. And yes, Tyler, I did message you after that, asking you to be in the sponsored video. It was a big sponsor video for me. I already told them that you and everyone else was gonna be in the video, so I thought I would just ask, and I literally told you in the text message, it's okay okay if you don't want to. Like, I didn't try to pressure you. You easily could have said no. I wouldn't have felt any type of way. Also, in that clip, you said there's no encouragement, no words of it.
I understand where Justice is coming from, but damn, like, you could have waited like an hour or two before asking him. Like, he just basically like said what he said, and you was just like, oh, that's crazy, but you want to be in a sponsored video? Like, I understand what he's saying, but it's like you could have waited a couple of hours or so to come ask him about the sponsored video.
But if you literally scroll up to our last text message, I'm asking about you quitting the vape, but you don't mention that in your video. And also at the end of the text message, I reach out about helping you with the money stuff because you had problems with your taxes and all of that, and I've had good experience with it. I've gone through those things. I asked, do you need help? Because I could help you with that. Offering my help.
Since getting sober, I realized
I feel like Jesser is helping him with everything but that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, well, he said he is helping him. Let me not discredit him. I feel like he could have helped him more in that situation because that's what his current real struggle is. But nah, Jesser, I mean, he's holding Mopi down in terms of like finances and YouTube and stuff like that. Maybe he didn't help as much because he doesn't understand like mental health. But I'm not gonna discredit.
I'm not being
Jesser
around these
for
people
helping him,
because
like,
they
in
contributed
other
to
ways.
me using. Like, they do that stuff themselves, and they treat me terrible. So like, it's not a good environment for me. I'm not being around that environment. I want to be healthy. I want to stay sober. Like, so I'm staying away from them. I'd hope to never see them again.
Tyler, you talk about how we do those things, and the crazy thing is I never did any of that stuff until I moved into the same house with you and I was around it, but I will never blame you for my actions. And you act like I'm trying to contribute to that when I'm trying to help you and my other friends. For example, when I did the Sober October Challenge, I'm trying to better myself and the people around me.
While I was not entirely open with how bad things were for me, they'll say like they didn't know and I just kept to myself. It's like, if nobody, I said I was taking breaks and I wouldn't upload and I wouldn't be around for weeks and like months on end, and no one checked on me for like months and months. And like, my living situation,
That
my
is
hallway
alarming though.
was
Like,
so
why would
bad.
you not want to check up on him?
Just everybody walks by it and thinks nothing of it, like what's going on in my room and like what I'm doing to myself in my room. And it's like, it got so bad with my hallway that it could be pitch black dark, and I memorized where to step to not step on shit and get to my room. Like, and I don't want to blame my living situation and how I was treating myself on them, but I'm not having it go out there that they were supportive of me or trying to help me. Like, it was just me.
This is the first time for me I've experienced a friend go through addiction like this.
See,
and Tyler, I wish
yeah.
I could have helped more.
We
I
know,
tried to
we
help
can
in my
tell.
own ways that I thought would help. I'm not a trained professional. You're my first friend to go through this. I didn't know really how to react. I wasn't living with you, and I'm sorry, Tyler.
And Jesse wants to go online and say I'm fighting serious demons. Like, no, they're the only demons I'm fighting, those guys, because they're trying to paint me out to be mentally unstable. Because I went to like rehab because I was using those substances that are legal in my state. Like, I can smoke and I can drink and I could use nicotine products, and they're trying to paint me out as crazy for that stuff. Like, I don't like it. It's a joke to mental illness, and that they like care, and it's just such a joke, and it makes me sick, honestly.
This clip right here is very vital to everything going on, so I'm going to break down this clip. Tyler, we are not the demons you are facing. You cannot deny that. You've been going through a really tough time in your life, and I've just tried to be there for you. Once again, you're my first friend to go through an addiction. I tried to help in my ways. I genuinely tried to be there for you, and I'm not a trained professional to handle with the situation, but I did try. Tyler, I've never said you were mentally unstable. I said you were fighting demons. I did not try to manipulate you or other people into thinking that. I simply said it because you were going through an addiction. I didn't want to expose private information out there. It was never my intent to call you mentally unstable. I didn't say you were fighting demons because you went to rehab. I said it because you were battling substance abuse. And yes, Tyler, you said it yourself in this clip, because I was using those substances. That's what I've been saying. And Tyler, you saying that it's legal to do those things is basically saying that it's okay. No, Tyler, you cannot justify drinking, smoking, and vaping because it's legal. Tyler,
You know what, bro? I'm about to substantially abuse crack because it's legal. Like, that's not okay. No.
I want to help you. I don't want you to deny what you're going through. You say
Just
we're
on
the
the point
only
there.
demons
Just 'cause
you're
it's
fighting.
legal,
You're lacking
doesn't mean it's
awareness
okay.
to the problem. Tyler, it really hurts me to see this part where you say what I've done is a joke to mental illness, when I've simply just tried to help you get through this. And again, I'm not a trained professional. And Tyler, like, I
didn't try
genuinely
hard enough,
love you.
though.
I have no
Acknowledge it.
hidden agenda against you. I've always wanted the best for you. I know in the video you stated you never want to see me again or talk to me. I don't have this same hatred back for you, Tyler. I want the best for you. I've always loved you. I would love to have a private conversation one-on-one to talk through everything because so much of this is such new information to me. Let me know if you want to talk about everything. I'm here for you. I have no ill intentions even after all of the stuff that has come my way. I never wanted to make this video. I didn't want anything to be public. I never wanted this to be an online back and forth. This is a lose-lose situation for both of us, Tyler. I had to respond. I had to make this because I had to defend myself. I'll still always be here for you, Tyler. I love you. And to the fans, I appreciate all the support over the years. I hope you guys can understand.
Yeah, go ahead, write this up. Okay, so basically what I took out of that is Jester was trying to explain what his side was. I understand both sides. There were some flaws in Jester's side, but I understand where they're coming from. I feel like Mopi should have. There was flaws on both sides actually, but there's more flaws on Jester's side. But I feel like Mopi should have really explained how he was feeling in terms of the group and how he was being treated. But it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like the whole taking mad breaks and not uploading stuff like that and leaving the house for weeks upon end. It's kind of like that should be an alarming sign. Like, okay, why is he doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like nobody really paid. Like Mopi said, nobody paid attention to him for real. But I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that Jester said that cleared up a lot of things, but there's still certain things like not trying hard enough, you know what I'm saying, in terms of trying to make sure Mopi's good, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, this cleared a lot of stuff, a lot of questions. Shout out to Hot Boys 5. Pause. Shout out to that dude for making sure I watch this video. Again, shout out to the homie Justin for putting these videos in order for me. If you enjoyed this reaction, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Like the video. Oh man, they should have just kept this private behind closed doors because we didn't need all this. We really didn't need all this. But it's a wrap for Too Hype. I think Too Hype is down. It's just like this. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap for them because according to TD, according to Mopi, those are hard hitting videos, bro, and it's making y'all look real bad. It's exposing y'all a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think LSK just dropped the video basically like confessing to all this. So it's kind of like, dang, like. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.